CVC going on, which actually works perfectly because the ×2 is for things that I need to actually get done. For today, we need to hop into my faction wars. We're gonna go a bit into the Forge and talk about what's coming next. Hey you guys, it's Cece. Welcome back to my channel. For the CVC we do have going on today with my clan, we are up against a level 9 clan. Now we did lose our last CVC, so we expected this one to be a little bit easier. And as I said, I think things are going good so far. Now, there is some ×2 happening, ×2 for Minnow, ×2 for Faction Wars, and ×2 for Forge. I was really hoping to actually hop into the Forge and craft some new stuff today. However, there's not going to be a lot that I can actually craft, nor do I want to actually craft. I might hang on to some of my stuff and just, we'll see what happens. We might try to do a little bit of the Swift Parry actually, and potentially see what we can get from here. But you guys gave me some advice on what I should be hanging on to when it comes to the Forge, and some sets that are definitely worth crafting over some of the other ones. So I appreciate your guys' advice for things like that, honestly, so much. So for now, we're gonna start in with my faction wars because, as I mentioned, I need to go ahead and make some progress down in here, and ×2 anyway, which is perfect. So first, let's hop into Sacred Order. I'm on 19. I was hoping to reach 21 today, but we are gonna see. Now, I definitely have a problem where I auto everything. That's like one of my biggest downfalls, is I always hit just auto. It's very rare that I manual a lot of things, especially right now because I am playing multiple accounts and I'm trying to get all my dailies done and making sure I'm not forgetting like keys or tokens or anything on any account. Spoiler alert, if you've seen my past videos, you know I've been forgetting it on at least one of them. But a girl's doing her best. We're doing what we can here. So I'm really just hoping to see if we can get down further into here, because I haven't attempted this in a while, especially now that I've got Secret Aniri kind of, I think she's built on this account. I've been playing around with gear, and that's the other thing. I've definitely been swapping gear out. Clearly my Archer has 0 gear on him. He's 50 though, and I don't at this time plan on bringing him up beyond that into 60. But I will say I do need to start putting gear on some of these guys to see how they do. It's really my He-Man, my Sir Nicholas, and my Alice that's kind of carrying things along. I also have a ton of gear that's from when I first geared some of these champs and haven't really touched it since. So I'm hoping I can kind of improve things along as we move forward in this. So I'm gonna start with this one first and kind of see how they do. And then I will go into my High Elves one as well. And that's definitely one easy way to get CVC points for this. I love when it is ×2 on something I'm already doing, like Faction Wars. I mean, it's perfect. I need to do my Faction Wars anyway. Doing ×2, at the very least, I'll be able to collect the rewards just for the personal ones, which, I mean, that's usually the minimum. Of course, depending on the clan you're in. I know some clans do require a little more participation than others. Some other of you guys have commented, been like, no, I'm in a super chill clan, it's just whatever, which is kind of where we're at. I just do what you can, guys. That's all I can really ask of you at this point. So I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can use my keys here, and then, as I said, we might do a bit of crafting in the Forge as well. It's another great way to get some easy points. I did actually end up quickly just throwing some gear onto my Archer to make this a little bit easier. It's still super slow, and I actually don't want to upgrade any gear right now. I was going to switch Alice's gear over, but there is going to be a gear enhancement event starting like in 2 days, maybe. Oh, nice. 3 stars on that one. So I did actually get down to 20. I know I'm not going to be able to do 21, so I'm probably just going to go back and try to get 3 stars on one of these other ones. But going over to events, gear enhancement starting in 5 hours. So I actually didn't want to touch any gear. So when I threw gear onto Artur, I kind of threw on whatever I had that was already leveled up. Because I was like, oh, this is the easiest way to do it. I'll throw whatever on. And the nice thing now is if we actually go into the advanced, down in here, they do have this. So win 3 artifacts or accessories from clearing dungeon. It is that 1 hour gear removal. This alone coming into the game has been, without lack of a better word, like game changing for me, because it's allowed me to actually just kind of throw gear on some champs. And I think it is also an easy way to throw gear onto the champs that I need for something like Faction Wars. And then I could just take gear off them if it doesn't work, you know, like throw it on, let them kind of complete it to the best of their ability. And then it's whatever, take it off and kind of move on. So that 1 hour gear removal ticket is clutch. I'm so glad that they added that into the game. I have found it to be super useful, and so far one of my favorite things that came out of the last major update that they actually did in Raid. I decided to go ahead and head back into the forge for now. I'm gonna do some instinct since these stones anyway that are only from the forge pass, and it's not us using a material as if I was to use something like a bloodstone, which you guys told me hang on to those ones for some of the other sets that I want to go ahead and craft. So we are gonna go in with some instinct and essentially see what we can grab from here, and hopefully get something that is going to be usable. But we aren't not going to do any upgrading right now because we are going to wait for the dungeon divers to start. And that's the only thing with when you're doing like a fusion, because of course we have the fusion going on right now. When it doesn't align, I did say dungeon divers, didn't I? I meant gear enhancement. I meant the gear enhancement, but yeah, when it does not align together with some of the other things in game. I'm thinking dungeon divers because that is going to be going on as well. But of course, it'll start a day later than the other dungeon did. So recently, was kind of looking at that. And we have the Dragons tournament that started, but Dungeon Divers starts a day after that. So that's where my mind was at. Definitely knew what I wanted to say, but when you have that many thoughts coming out, you know. So at the very least, I can get some points here, and silver. And you guys have also kind of mentioned this in terms of going ahead and crafting, and kind of said like, it's all RNG, you don't necessarily get great stuff, which is fair. I mean, I could use charms, but I don't really want to use charms on instinct. I'd rather save it for some other stuff. So I can get silver out of here though, if anything else. Oh, it's like hopefully a good one. Had to be a flat stat, hey? And I think I will just mass sell as well, instead of kind of clicking through individually. So I will go ahead and sell any of the 4-star ones, but at least we got some points. And the instinct one's being crafted. Let's go see. I definitely want to change some champions around, but as I said, I'm gonna wait. Sell all the 4-star. I am gonna go ahead and wait for the gear enhancement event, and then I will switch some champs up. So I would like to also farm minnow right now. However, as much as I want to farm it, I won't, just because I need to go ahead and hop into dungeons so that I can start working on stuff for my fusion. So at least I've completed kind of my milestones in here. I'm going to keep an eye on this as well, and see like if we're lacking where we need points. But with the healthy lead, I think that's okay. And since it's, you know, it's not a personal CVC anyway, then I think we're not looking too bad for it. If you download Raid Shadow Legends using my link, I'm actually going to start you off with the free legendary champion on day 1. And then at level 10, level 20, and level 30, you'll get yourself an epic. That is 4 amazing champions that you can get just by downloading using my link. I definitely think one of my favorite things they added into Raid was that 1-hour gear removal. It's definitely allowing me to make more progress in my faction wars. So definitely still working on that. And as much as I would also like to farm minnow, they mentioned at some point they would give us these super raids on minnow, and that is also what I'm waiting for. I wish that was a permanent thing and not something that's just an event in Raid. Please bring us the super raids on minnow, make it a permanent thing. I know you mentioned it would be an event, but a permanent thing would be amazing. So I do want you guys to comment down below and let me know what is something that Raid has recently added into the game, or something they do that you love. For me, as I said, having that 1-hour gear removal ticket has been clutch. Be sure you guys subscribe so you do not miss out on future videos, and so you can follow my progress along in Raid as a new player. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!